So for starters, we're going to get in a quick release segment. So you're going to need one, your mat, and two, you're going to want to be next to the wall. So first thing we're going to do, we've actually done before, and this is the shoulder carve. So this is where we're getting our shoulders in full range of motion here. So we're going to go ahead, we're going to come down on our knee. The only difference here is now we have the wall. So once you go ahead and lean your shoulder against the wall, we're going to come up. Our palms are going to be facing outwards towards us. We're going to come back, 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 back until we can't go anymore. As soon as we can't get any more range of motion back here, we're going to flip. We're going to come down, trying to keep the torso centered. Down, down, down. Feel that stretch. And then we're going to flip one last time. Come all the way down to the thigh. And then we're going to reverse it and come all the way back. Palm facing out. We're going to go ahead and flip. Coming up, trying to keep that torso straight. You come about midpoint, flip, and down, and good. So you're going to go ahead and do that 3 times on each side. So you go ahead, switch it out. So this next one, we're also going to stay against the wall. We're going to have a towel or a mat for some knee support. This is sort of like donkey kicks, a nice way to open up the hips. So what we're going to do is we're going to come down tabletop. We're going to have one leg pressed against the wall so we don't compensate our hips. We want our hips nice and straight. Hands going to come down right below the shoulder. So once again, tabletop. And what we're going to do is we're going to take the leg that's away from the wall here. We're going to kick back, and then we're going to go ahead and extend the leg out so it's 90 degrees. Get a nice little 1-second pause. Rotate back to your starting position. So you can get a nice little kick back. Feel those hamstrings engage. Core is tight. Out, 90 degrees. 1-second pause. Rotate back in. Kick back. Core is tight. Feel those hamstrings. 90 degrees. Out to the side, rotate back in. We're gonna go ahead and do that eight times, so 8 reps on each side. All right, so next up we have side planks. So we're side, hand for support, place down. We're gonna go ahead, take our forearm here and get it in line with our shoulder, right? We're gonna take our knees, we're gonna use our knees to pop ourselves up. Be about 90 degrees here. And then what I want us to do is come on up, lift those hips up, arm on our hips for support, turn it on these side obliques. Positioning here, you're going to hold it for 20 seconds on each side. Now if you feel like your arms are starting to give out, play around with the distance, coming in a little bit to force more of the core action. You're going to hold that for 20 seconds. All right, so this next exercise is called the pale press. We did this once. We did it the first time that we worked out together. So you're going to need your red band. Last time you hooked this up to the wall. The band's going to be in line with your navel, so your belly button. And what we're going to do is we're going to pull away a little bit from the door, get some resistance. And the goal is let's have this band come directly in line with the belly button, and we're going to get a nice inhale. Let that air fill in, and on the exhale, we're going to push directly out. That side oblique should be lighting up, and then you're going to go ahead and inhale and exhale. Get a nice 1-second pause and inhale and exhale. Pause. All right, so now that we're done with the pale press, we're gonna go ahead and hang out in the TRX station. So you're gonna want your TRX hung up on the top of the door here. And the first thing we're gonna do is go ahead and start to get the heart rate up. So we're gonna use each handle here. We're gonna have the handles come in front of us. So that way we're able to extend out. We're gonna have these elbows come straight out, lock straight out, band straight in front of us. We're gonna get a nice little incline. We're gonna turn our core on, And we're gonna go 30 seconds, not necessarily a marching place, but almost like a little jogging place. And what I want us to focus on is driving through the glutes with each step. Keeping that core turned on. So I guess we're not totally done with core exercises here. Keeping that core engaged, driving through the glutes. Difficulty should be about a 6, maybe a 7 by the time you're done with all of the sets. So the first thing that we're gonna do is our TRX row. So here we're gonna be working on our upper back specifically. First thing I want us to do is get a nice little incline. So quick note, the more the incline, the harder the difficulty, right? So if I go lower, it's gonna be harder. If I come up, it's gonna be easier. So find an area that's moderately difficult. And what we're gonna do is, first thing, we're gonna turn on the glutes, we're gonna turn on the core so we're nice and stabilized, and we're gonna come up through the back shoulder blades, right? So all through here, the scapula, right? That's where we wanna come up from. So here we go. Glutes on, core on, chin down, coming up through the back, coming back down, keeping that core nice and stabilized, coming up. Nice 2-second hold, 3 seconds down. So up, 1, 2, hold, 2 seconds, down, 3, 2, 1. Up, 1, 2, hold, 3 seconds down, 3, 2, 1. Keeping those glutes, core on the whole time. Coming down, 3, 2, 1, upper back. Cool. So you're gonna go ahead and do that. We're gonna do that 10 reps per set. Now we are gonna do a little bit of an interval here. So this is the first thing, right? We're gonna start off with a set of 10 reps of TRX row. Next up, what we're gonna do is we're gonna get a nice squat. So for our squat, first thing, I gave you this cue, I think once before. It sounds rude, but you're gonna be pigeon-toed, and you're gonna go ahead and try to rotate those feet out straight. When you do that, those glutes should turn on, and you're nice and stabilized. That's our first step here. We're gonna come out, pigeon-toed, rotate those feet forward, turn on those glutes, and here, we're gonna come down, try to get about 90 degrees, come up through the glutes. So we're gonna go ahead, we're gonna get 10 reps here. Coming up through the glutes, down, 90, up through the glutes. From a timing perspective, going down, 1, 2, holding it, 1, 2, up, 1, 2, hold, 1, 2, up. Once you get a feel for this, got those glutes turned on, we're gonna make sure we're also keeping that core nice and engaged whole way through. So 10 reps of TRX squat. So the last part of this circuit is the reverse lunge. So here we're going to dig in this front foot here, and we're gonna go ahead, step back. What I want us to do is get a nice 90 degrees when we come down. This is sort of gonna be our main holding spot throughout the entire set. So when we come up, boom, we'll get our footing. If you need to bring that back foot in for a little more stability, that's cool. And we're gonna go ahead, we're gonna come down, nice and under control, up, couple little cues. So we want that foot, that front foot, nice and screwed in here, coming up through this front glute, keeping that core turned on. From a timing perspective, we're coming down a little bit slower. 1, 2, 3. 1 second pause, and up. 1, 2. Down. 1, 2, 3. Pause. 1, 2. On the way up. So you're gonna go ahead and you're actually gonna get 10 on each side. So we're really gonna light up these glutes here. And then you'll switch it out, same thing. You're gonna go 90 degrees, right? Just to get started, you're gonna have that front foot nice and screwed in. If you need to bring that back foot up, that's cool. And we're gonna go ahead and come down all through this glute, 90, hold it 1 second, and up, 1, 2. All right, so we're done with the TRX portion of today's workout. We got 3 sets, TRX row, TRX squat, reverse lunge, 10 reps, 3 sets. We also got in 3 sets, 30 seconds on, 30 seconds off of running in place with the TRX suspension. Now we're gonna go ahead and finish with a couple of auxiliary strength exercises. So the first thing I want us to do is work on our chest press. So like we did with the TRX for the run in place, we're gonna have our bands come straight out in front of us. And what we're gonna do is get a nice little split stance here. So I have one leg out, one leg behind, digging in that front foot, turning the core on. And what I wanna do with my arms is get 90 degrees, right? 90 degrees out. And I wanna push down. And I like to think of tearing a bag open on the way up. So I'm tearing something open, coming back out, almost like I'm widening my wingspan here, resuming back to that 90 degrees, starting position, coming back down, tearing something open, coming back nice and under control, back to 90 degrees. Timing on this, we're gonna go 1, 2, down, 2 second pause, 3 seconds up, 3, 2, 1. 1, 2, 2 second pause, 3, 2, 1 on the way up. You can push through those back shoulder blades. I know that's a common cue. Push, exhale on the way down. Nice 3 second negative here on the way up. So you're gonna feel those pecs start to light up. I want you to keep that core turned on. We shouldn't be throwing our body into it. We're staying nice and stable. Pushing straight down, tearing a bag open, on the way back up, nice and under control, back to 90 degrees, and down. So you're gonna go ahead, you're gonna get 10 reps, 3 sets. You'll start with one leg on the first set to even it out. You can go on the opposite side here for the split stance, come down, up, and then for the third one, you'll start back where you were, down. All right, so the last strength exercise that we have for today is going to be the tricep pull down. So you're gonna use your bands again. You can start with the red band. If this is too easy, you can use a higher level. The difficulty should be about a 6 to 7. We're gonna do 3 sets of 10 reps. And here what we're gonna do is we're gonna be about a foot from the door. You're gonna lock in these feet, glutes on. We're gonna use the fabric part of the band, so right above the metal hooks here. We're gonna get a nice grip, and we're gonna have the elbows pressed on the torso, right? So those elbows are gonna be locked in place, and we're not gonna move the arms. We're just gonna use the elbows as a pulley to press down here. So what we wanna do from a timing perspective is we're gonna come down, 1, 2, pause, 2 seconds, and up, 3, 2, 1. Down, 1, 2, 2 second pause, and up, 3, 2, 1. Biggest thing is those elbows stay pressed against the torso. You should be feeling it all in the tricep when you come down. So you want to feel it all in here. If you want to exaggerate those triceps when you come down, you can rotate your fists in. So if you can see that. So my elbows almost point out when I do that. So again, 3 sets of 10. That's the last strength exercise for today. All right, and now for the final recovery, so the cool down, we're gonna use our TRX suspension again. So we're gonna go ahead and hook that to the top of the door. So what we're gonna do is I'm gonna face you. We're gonna come out. We're gonna get a nice pec stretch. So I want you to hold on to the handle and drive your shoulder away from the band here. And what you should feel, you can really lean into it, is a nice stretch of the pecs here. So we can try to straighten out the hips, straighten out the torso, and feel those pecs stretch out. We're gonna hold this for 30 seconds on each side. You can sort of play around with the intensity and how you lean into it or not. Good. The lower portion of the body, we're gonna do the same thing. We're gonna do a loaded stretch, but here we're gonna do the squat. So what I want us to do is we're gonna rely on the band quite a bit for support. But what we're gonna do is we're gonna drop down. We're gonna go below 90 degrees. I want us to open up those hips, and we're gonna sit in this for a good 45 seconds. If you feel like your knees or anything is starting to hurt, just come on in, easily scoot yourself in. Come out wider. If you really wanna get that stretch. You might even feel it in the lower back. So here we're just letting it all stretch out for 45 seconds. If it feels really good, you can go another round.